My sister falsely accused me of essaying her. After the truth comes out, she wants me to apologize and reconcile with her. That's how she lost all her family members. This is my first post, so I'm sorry about the storytelling. This story takes place 7 years ago. At this time, I 18M and my biological sister 15F had always gotten into arguments. They would be small, petty things, but then they blew up because we just didn't get along. My father at the time was in his third marriage, and his new wife brought in 3 daughters. So I had 4 younger sisters, 1 biological sister, and 3 stepsisters. My father was in the military, and we got sent to a military station in Japan. One day during a summer before school, our parents told us 3 teenagers, my biological sister, stepsister, and I, that one of us would be sent back to our families in the United States due to the constant fighting. It was ultimately decided that my biological sister would be sent back to live with our biological mother, while the rest of us stayed. At the start of the school year, I was starting 12th grade, my stepsister was in 10th grade, and my biological sister would be starting her freshman year of high school. A few months into the school year, I get brought into my parents' room saying, "We need to talk." To my shock, it was that my biological sister had accused me of SA and said it was done when we were kids. My parents asked me about what she could be talking about, and the only incident was when I was 11, and I said something inappropriate in front of her that I learned on the internet. I got apprehended for it and was taught my lesson. My parents and my 3 younger stepsisters learned that my biological sister is a pathological liar and was caught multiple times in said lies. My parents said that due to this, I was no longer allowed to babysit my 2 younger siblings, still in elementary school, and that I had to always be with my teenage stepmother or an adult with them. When I called them out on believing a pathological liar, they said, "We don't believe her, but we have to take this seriously." My response to them was, "If you take this seriously, then you are fueling her fire more." This led to my being shunned by most of my family on my mom's side and my dad's side, besides an aunt, uncle, and a few cousins. Fast forward 2 years later. I am about to be shipped out into the military with my aunt and uncle, who didn't believe my bio-sister, and I got a call from my bio-mother saying that my bio-sister was in a hospital for attempting self-harm. I asked how this pertains to me since she also knew how I felt about my biological sister, and she said that with her recovering from the incident, the truth came out that she fabricated the SA. Immediately, my mother apologized to me and said that my biological sister's reasoning was that he seemed so happy over there. I thought nothing of it and accepted my mother's apology. Fast forward to today, where I have moved on with my life, but still have not forgiven her or plan to. I have served almost 6 years in the military, and most of my family has tried to or did apologize for everything that happened with my sister and didn't believe her for a second. My same family keeps on asking if I would ever sit down with her to talk it out, and I always refuse, saying, "I love her as a sister, but will never like her as a person." She has told her family that she's willing to patch things up for me if I apologize to her about the situation, and I outright laughed and said, "Hell no." My family keeps on hounding me, saying that she's my only real sibling, but I have 3 younger sisters, my stepsisters, who still view me as their older brother with no issues, and I am now uncle to my sister's new son. I don't want or feel that I have any obligations to sit down with her to fix things because of the seriousness of her actions. But my family is saying that I should mend things since that is my blood and blood is family. AITA for not wanting to reconcile with my biological sister after she falsely accused me of SA. Relevant comments. Infi07. OP, has your sister ever sincerely apologized to you? Has she made any attempts to do so? Has your family pushed her to apologize to you with the same energy they are pursuing to have you reconcile with her? I'm also confused about what you are supposed to apologize for. Childhood fighting. Being happy and moving on without her, based on what was written and the severity of the matter, NTA. You have no obligation to initiate the reconciliation. I'm truly baffled as to why your family is seemingly putting all the burden on you when having her initiate the conversation would assist her mental recovery by taking accountability for her actions. What a messed up situation. OP. She has never officially tried to apologize. There was a time when we were almost in the same house, and I got a hotel to not cause drama in my parents' house, but got backlash. They have not pushed her at all to my knowledge due to the fact that I don't know where she is, and she blocked me on everything. But I unfollowed her on everything and haven't tried to reach out, if I am being honest. Supposedly, she wanted me to apologize for the comment I made when I was younger, and for trying to get the family to hate her. Most of what I know of her is told to me by other family members, but she's now burning bridges with other family members too. Chip 666. NTA. How is your relationship with your dad and stepmother now? OP. I have made amends with my father and stepmom due to it since I've been in therapy for some time now. But I still hold it against them whenever it comes back up. Father and stepmom got divorced, but I still see her daughters as my family since they were still talking to me and siding with me during the whole thing. From what I understand, my biological sister burned bridges with my father and stepmother. Update. Sorry if the post is badly written. I am new to Reddit. First, I would like to say thank you for everyone's kind words and the messages that I received. It helped me more than I thought it would. So no one in my family found this post or knows about the original. But there are a few updates. First, I saw a lot of people asking, what do I have to apologize for? For context, I was told to apologize for trying to make the family hate her, and for my comment I made when I was 11. But I had already apologized for that when it happened. Second, I was forced into the same house as her for us to reconcile. During the holidays, I went to visit my father and stepmom when they were still together, and wasn't told that my biological sister would be there too. To my surprise, she was sitting on the couch when I walked in, and I immediately left, angry and yelling at my family. I spent my own money on a hotel nearby and said I would visit when appropriate, but was met with backlash because she was willing to talk, but I had to apologize. I refused and stayed in my hotel, upset that I was tricked. Thirdly, my biological sister is still living with my biological mother and is finally getting kicked out for lying. My mother and father had admitted that, at first they couldn't believe it, but after having her at their house, it was clear what happened. I went talking to some family that still supported me during the time and found that she has no more bridges with anyone in the family left because she burned them when they thought they were helping her. We also found that she had made multiple false statements towards other men and other members of our family. To my knowledge, my sister was never touched like that, but we both got beatings and got starved a few times. She burned my father's bridge too, and she just burned my mother's bridge. And her mother is kicking her out of the house now and has apologized again, which seemed honest. I made it that I have gone to NC with my sister and a few family members, but I have been in therapy for a few years and am trying to allow people back in after conversations. Thank you everyone again for your messages, and thank you for believing in my story. I will update you guys if anything else happens. Second story. My whole marriage is built on lies. Recovered with the Wayback Machine. I am using a burner account. I am afraid this will be leaked by him. But I am on my work computer. I am a 45-year-old female. My husband is 47 years old. We have 3 daughters, 20F, 19F, and 15F. What I thought was a perfect family was a lie orchestrated by my husband. We moved into a new home closer to my middle daughter's college. As I was unpacking some of the stuff, I came across my husband's box. I was just checking if things were missing or not. I opened his box and found some stuff. Those were my photos when I was 20 years old. There were pictures of me going to college, to my gym, and to a hangout spot with my friends. There were lists of the places I used to visit when I was 20 years old. But here is the thing. I met my husband on my 22nd birthday. So why does he have numerous pictures of me in different places from 2022? He had pictures of me in my own apartment back then. As I went into the rabbit hole, I discovered many things. A list of the places I normally went back then, like my gym, my library, and my classes. He had lists of all my friends and their names in a diary. He even had a list of all the guys I had dated back then. I found his diary from 1998. Most of his entries were about me. I didn't even know who he was back then. He didn't exist for me. I won't bore you with details, but basically, I found out that he staged the day we met for the first time. To woo me, he took a job as a bartender at the bar I usually went to. He spiked my drink so that I could pass out, and he could save me. It worked because I was very impressed by him. I mean, any guy would take advantage of a drunk girl, but he didn't. He took me safely to my home, where my roommate received me. I forgot my purse in the bar, which was my husband's ploy too. He stole my purse so that I could come and get it. From there, we started dating. I do not want to say everything he did was a lie, but that's all that was. Now I know why he always brought things that I liked. I thought that we were soulmates, but in reality, he was just a creep who stalked me for 2 years. I never felt like I was under his control. In fact, he has always showered me with love. He was not controlling or oppressive. He had always been there for me. He was so sweet, passionate, and caring that I felt like the luckiest girl in the world to be with him. Even now, when I told him I had to work the day before Christmas, he smiled and told me he would handle it. Now this is all a lie. I don't even know the person I married. How can I ever trust him? We have built our lives around a lie. How can I tell my children that their father is a con? I feel like I am going crazy. No one will believe me. He has created this image about himself that he can do no wrong. Please help me sort out these feelings. I do not know what to feel. Additional information from the OP. Of course. He lied and hid the truth from me. God knows how much more he is hiding. I have doubts that he even has a second family because of what a psychopath he is. I try to remember good things about him, but the fact that he has staged my entire life, starting from when we started dating, is scary to me. I left out many details because he uses Reddit. About the photos. No, I didn't share them. Those photos were taken by him while he was creeping on me. I hadn't even met him back then. And it is very ironic that you are more concerned about his privacy being violated when he has been violating my privacy for more than 20 years. If the story is fake, I am going to make it clear once and for all, and people who are interested can read this comment. No, this is not fake. I changed some details to make it less obvious, but the main point is unchanged. Why would I seek attention through a throwaway? And for those who are asking about the diaries, I came across them while setting up our house. Back then, he had a habit of journaling. He would keep a diary with him everywhere he went. He stopped after our wedding. He has kept every diary. I didn't read any of those, just the one from the year when he was stalking. Stop reporting it. Update. Recovered with a Wayback Machine. Hello everyone, Happy New Year. I just wanted to give you guys an update. Thanks for all the comments and advice. I know many of you are eager for an update. So here it is, short story. We are separated. We are both attending therapy, individually, and as a couples therapy. We are not getting a divorce for now. But I did tell my girls the truth. The long version. The day after I posted this, I started to plan how I wanted to approach it. I acted like everything was normal during Christmas. But my husband had noticed that I was concerned. It was hard to fake everything, knowing how much he had lied. After the Christmas dinner, I sat down with my husband and told him everything. I even showed him what I had found. I asked him to tell me the truth. He didn't deny it. He said that he once saw me at my gym and knew he wanted to meet me, so he followed me around. Back then, all my hangout places, the gym and college, were in the same area, so it was easy for him. He would often be sitting outside my house, some days, to see where I went. Then, when he saw the bar, I used to go with my friend quite often, and somehow he managed to get a job there. And you know the rest. At that moment, I felt sick to my stomach. I was overwhelmed with fear and anger. I was crying. My husband came to comfort me, and I screamed at him. "Don't touch me, you effing creep." I can see he was hurt by it. He was begging me to forgive him. He said that he knew what he did was wrong, but the love he had for me was true. We didn't sleep the whole night. I pressured him to tell me everything. How much did he control my life? Or I will tell the girls everything. He was honest. He said the night we met was the only thing he orchestrated. Everything else is true. He didn't follow me. He trusted me and begged me to not leave him. When the morning came, I urged my husband to tell my girls the truth. Because I wanted separation. And I do not want to hide anything from them. We didn't tell him anything about the stalking. Just the fact that we will be separating, and we still love them. My youngest didn't take it well. My oldest and middle child were understanding. I told my husband that he and I both need therapy to see where we stand. I was seriously questioning my marriage. Then again, he was the best partner I've ever had. He is a perfect husband and a good father. I remember those times when we would enjoy the snow on New Year's Eve and barely get out of bed. I will always remember the good memories we shared. Our wedding, our honeymoon, the birth of our children, every family vacation. Those were not lies. I know that he loves me deeply, but this is something I cannot get out of my head. Now I just feel guilty about calling him a creep. I can see it broke him inside. I love him so deeply. I know he loves me too. He never hurt me or did anything that would cause me any harm. He never cheated on me. He could have, but he didn't. That's why divorce is not an option. We will see how we can move past this through therapy. This might just be my last update. Unless things change. Top comments. Armchair Detective. I feel like there is something wrong with nearly every comment on here. The OP's original post describes how her husband administered a date rope drug to her the first time they met. He did this so he could save her and look like a good guy. Honestly, that would be it for me. The man is psychotic, and anyone who thinks he is a good man who just loves her needs to take a long look at what they think is acceptable behavior. The OP is not safe with him. He should not be allowed to be near women. The Lexix Rex. It's so crazy. This whole thing is insane. Her whole story reads like that of someone who's been groomed. He could have cheated and didn't. Anyone else would have essayed a girl who had been drugged. Her reality is so skewed, and no one here is taking this seriously enough. He stalked her, drugged her, and manipulated her. Of course, he isn't going to admit anything beyond what she has evidence of. He clearly used the information about her he got while stalking her to woo her and make her think they were soul mates, for the sake of setting a good example for her daughters, since she probably won't do it for herself. They need to be informed and watch her leave him. It's not like he orchestrated a meet cute after he saw her at the gym. He stalked her, tracked her movements and places she habitually visited, watched her home, and followed her around. He took pictures of her in her own home. He got a job serving drinks at her regular bar, drugged her, and stole her purse. The sainted martyr. I'm sorry, but you sound like a Stockholm Syndrome victim. He drugged you. For you to believe anything that comes out of his mouth now is astounding. And why did he keep all of his stalking souvenirs? He had to know they could lead to his being discovered. The psychology behind this is grotesque. You have no idea who you are married to. None. There is a dangerous stranger in your house, around your children. Does your individual therapist know the whole story? Anyway, if this post is real, I hope you will focus on your individual therapy and start secretly laying the groundwork for a safe escape if you should need one. I fear that if he ever truly believed you were leaving, he would turn very dark, possibly unalive you. Thank you for watching the video.